what will make them feel $1 million?
Well, the answer to that, stop managing, start disrupting. Today's initiatives, tomorrow's minimum standards with increasing rapidity. You can't build the future with legacy thinking. We need to go from an experience to a personalized experience. Change isn't the enemy, it's the invitation.
Powerful. I love that the most. Hey, Liam, I'm super excited to have you on the show today. So let's go right into it. You've been in the beauty industry for so many years. I mean, we're talking about a couple of decades, if I may, maybe a couple more. And you have seen over the past, decades, the ups, the downs, the ups, the downs, and every time that we go through up and down, every time we always say, oh my God, we're going into downtimes. Oh my God, we're going into, up times. Or maybe I hear a lot of our business owners saying, this year is such a different, the generation is different. The technology is different. The customer is different. But in reality, if you look back into history, for sure nothing is really different. It's maybe just the same woman with a different dress. So I'd love if you can give us your point of view over the decades, the ups and downs, and what is always consistent in the service, high luxury service businesses that we should always look into the consistency. What is the red thread that never changes? And as an entrepreneur in this industry, we need to pay attention. Extremely important right now.
Well, that's a good starting question. And I'd split that into two. The beauty industry really mirrors society. Society has its ups and downs, as you said. Society has economic times. So we really, as a beauty industry, mirror that. What hasn't changed and will never change is the goal to make the consumer feel good when they leave a beauty salon. Not just with their hair or their skin or whatever they may have. It's a feeling. They need to feel good. That has never changed. We've evolved in a society from when I first started in many, many ways. Certainly we didn't have technology in those days. Certainly we didn't have social media. So we have more advantages now because of the ability to market your business. But the consumer still has changed and evolved. So as the consumer has these advantages. They now have a myriad of choices. Power has gone from the producer to the consumer.
Okay.
So,
what do you mean by that?
Well,
power.
To name, for example, back in the 60s, when Vidal Sassoon revolutionized the beauty industry, you had people lining up outside the salon.
And just so you know, for all of our listeners, if you don't know the name Vidal Sassoon, because many people don't know who Vidal Sassoon is, or maybe they heard a little bit about Vidal Sassoon, or maybe you saw at CVS and Walgreens the products Vidal Sassoon. Liam, can you just let us know who was Vidal Sassoon, or what empire is Vidal Sassoon?
So Vidal revolutionized hairdressing. Prior to Vidal, women used to go twice a week to the salon. They had their hair done, they had their hair combed up in between. What Vidal said is throw away the rollers, have good, clean, geometric cutting, and good condition. And women went to the salon 4 to 6 weeks, every 4 to 6 weeks. So Vidal revolutionized women globally.
In what way?
With the fact that he gave them freedom
to
have control. the fact that it was a period of time in the swinging 60s in London that fashion, music, and hair all were innovation. And so during that period, he really revolutionized hair.
Yeah. And which means that he looked at the beauty in a different mindset. He looked at the beauty in elevated it by I don't know, by so many levels. And so what we're thinking about when we're thinking about somebody like that, the revolution, the whole industry, it's almost like Steve Jobs or Jeff Bezos, and the innovation behind it. Not only that he opened, like you said, the control in a woman, but he took it to a luxury mindset.
He did. Prior to that, women used to go in with the latest fashion and say, I want my hair done like this. He involved architecture and bone structure. And he designed looks to match the shape of the face and the bone structure of the individual. So it was revolutionary.
Yes.
Now today, to bring it up to modern times, women have a myriad of choices. They see things online. They get feedback from people about beauty salons.
Yes.
And it's a completely different world. You need to go beyond the quality of hair. You need to go to the level of personal experience the consumer gets. That's equally, if not more important than just the service.
Absolutely. So it's the experience that we need to level up, and that's the common thread that comes between all the decades. That does not change. If anything,
yes,
the expectation from the guest today, or the consumer, or the customer, or however we call them, needs to go to a place where they expect a lot more because they're getting a lot more around the market.
This episode is sponsored by Salon Cadence, the only global advisory network helping salon and spa and med spa CEOs scale to 7 and 8 figures without a burnout. This is not a do-it-yourself program. This is do it with you and for you. From profit-first system to team-run leadership. First, we fix the numbers, then we create the wealth, then we focus on CEO mindset, and we build the process with your team to give you the ultimate freedom to become the true CEO and visionary you are. We have helped thousands grow widely successful for freedom-driven companies in beauty, wellness, and regenerative medicine. If you're ready to grow, scale, and live a wealthy life, visit saloncadence.com.
If you've been treating your guests, whether you're in a wellness center, I mean, look at the services and the treatments that we have for people today. Today, you can go to an IV center and get anti-aging treatments. You can go to a red infra light and get youth. You can go and get better hair treatments so your hair grow faster. You can get shine. So the technology has elevated the expectation of the consumer, and for their money and for their time, they want to be wowed. And the experience that you've been giving them for the past year became average this year. So the next thing to do is how can we elevate that experience? What can we do more? What can we give more?
So the answer to that is today's initiatives are tomorrow's minimum standards with increasing rapidity. You can't build the future with legacy thinking. What we have done in our industry, the beauty industry, is gone from service to an experience. We need to go to the next step. We need to go from an experience to a personalized experience. If I was to give a customer a hand massage, a makeup touch-up, a scalp massage, it's an experience.
Absolutely.
But if you do that to the next person, it's generic. We need to go and evolve to a personalized experience rather than a generic one. Everyone wants to be treated as an individual, and we need to create personalized experiences and entertainment for people so that they feel good. It goes beyond the service. It's a feeling. So they go and talk about this business. People talk about poor and excellent service. Good or average, they don't talk about it. When it's bad, whether it's a restaurant, they'll talk about it. Don't go there. If it's excellent, they'll talk about it. We expect good service.
Well, and good service means what? What are the non-negotiables in good service?
Well, service.
And I'm talking
Right.
about whether you're a hair salon owner, whether you're a medical spa, a med spa, a wellness center, maybe you're even a plumber, maybe you are an attorney with 2 or 3 locations. What does it mean, that excellent service? Or what are the non-negotiable?
Well, what was thought of as service 2-3 years ago is minimum standards now. So what it means is that you need to be able to go out of a business and go, wow. If you're not wowing your customers, then you're not maximizing the emotion when they leave. The goal is to maximize, make sure how they feel when they leave, not just the service. It's the experience and the personal feel.
Right.
So they go and talk about your business.
And for example,
Social media. Put it on social media.
yeah, so even if you're elevating the experience of the consumer, you also have to elevate the experience of your staff. Like, how can you elevate the experience of your staff? So, for example, and I'll give you an example, one of our sister companies, which is salonbooks.com, we provide CFO services. We do consulting on and controlling on your finance. And you can today get a report coming from your financial books. But if you had a private one-on-one approach and consulting on a regular basis that teaches you, not just telling you what to do, but teaching you how to understand your numbers, that is 100% excellent service. Let's bring it into the experience when you walk into a salon. Maybe it used to be that you thought that Keurig coffee machine looks amazing on the shelf. And it looks good, and you go there and you make your coffee, maybe you have your own sugar and you put it all. That becomes a very average, low average standards to where it is now. It's not because it's not, it's because what you have been given in the past year become average today. So how can you lift up the journey of a client when they walk in? How can you think as a luxury mindset? Mm-hmm. And so, example, and I just want to bring you a technical example, is that the Keurig machine might need to be Nespresso, might need to be a French press, individual French press service, or might need to be that you ask your consumer if they can get $1 million worth of haircut. How do they want to feel, and what will make them feel $1 million? Just that question alone.
Well, the answer to that, stop managing, start disrupting. Start disrupting your business. Make sure that you are constantly evaluating your business from every aspect, from the front to the back. Every single aspect needs to be reviewed all the time. You talk about $1 million haircut, and I'm mindful of a story that I heard where somebody was offered a reward. And it wasn't $1 million, it was a $10,000 haircut. This person was given an opportunity to go to this salon in Paris. And it cost $10,000 for the haircut. What would you expect for a $10,000 haircut? Would they greet you at the door? Would the maitre d' bring you through? Would the
Park the car?
Would the scissors and comb be on a cushion?
Give you a computer to order your groceries just while you're sitting down? What else?
What would it be? Would the shampoo and massage be exceptional? You leave there and you've had a $10,000 haircut. You go back to your original salon and they say, well, how was it? It was excellent. The trick is to do the $10,000 service for whatever you charge. Mm-hmm. go beyond the level of cost. Don't raise your prices without raising the experience. By all means, raise your prices to the highest level you can charge, but don't have the same level of service that you did at a lower price. Raise that experience for the consumer.
You got to think within the luxury mindset. Like, how would a client could feel that they've been taken care of in a luxury way? Even though, pricing is very important, but it's not about just the pricing, it's about what do you give in a price. For example, non-negotiable. Don't let your customer be in your shop or in your studio or in your company more than they should, because people don't have time today to spend hours and hours to get done. So how do you design your services? Because time is the most expensive commodity that we have. They get in, they get out, and in that short of a time, they feel like nothing else. And they get what they need. How do you design that? So we're challenging you, our listeners, we're challenging you right there to think, if you can team up with your team and start thinking within luxury mindset, and start thinking, what can we do to elevate the experience that people can talk about us? What is it? From the minute they pick up the phone, from the minute they book their appointments, to the minute that they leave, what can we do for them to speak about us as much? Liam, I want to go into your success in, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. And before we dive into your success today, I want you to take us back to your most challenging moments in business, to the point where everything seems to be falling apart in your company, and you are about to say, and that's it, I'm giving up. At what point, and what made you feel that way? What was the sticky point when you said to yourself, I don't even know if it's worth for me to stay? But what was the change, the pivot point that made you not only stay, but pivot to the point that then you were thriving?
Well, it was in the embryonic stages of launching my company many, many years ago. I held on to an idea too long. I didn't launch. It might have been lack of experience, lack of confidence, whatever it may be. But I held on, and the consumer's not waiting for you to launch. They've got a plethora of choices. So that really taught me a lesson that I need to take the idea and do diligence and do a strategic blueprint on this and bring it to the market at the earliest opportunity before someone else does or the trend is gone. But that was the aha moment many years ago.
What was that idea?
It was an idea about bringing out shampoo in mousse format.
Okay, elaborate.
So back in the 70s, mousse for hair was as a setting lotion.
Okay.
So you had a bottle of mousse, and you squirted it out, foam came out, and you used it as a setting lotion. And many companies had that. Well, I thought, well, why can't you do that for shampoo? So I dealt with a company, we tested it and tested it and tested it.
But you were not comfortable about launching it yet.
I was not comfortable about launching it, and it was called Quote. That was the name of the whole
I like
range.
it, that's a good name.
Right, and the quote was written kind of vertically, black with gold. It looked really sharp. I actually procrastinated.
Yeah, I
held on to that too long.
I totally get it.
It would have been very innovative in the industry, but that was an aha moment for me. And it just made me structure ideas quickly through a strategic blueprint, which I use on every single business to make sure that I don't make that same mistake.
So how did you almost got to the point when it happened? What made you feel like this is not for me?
Well, it wasn't for me. A major manufacturer launched it.
Okay.
So,
Missed opportunity.
right.
And then what? So what made you completely change and pivot to a whole different direction?
You'll cut that out, presumably. Do you want to ask that question again?
Yeah. So
I've got it on silent, which I don't understand.
that's okay. Well, the question was, and let me just add,
Yeah, sorry.
the wife just called in. The wife just called in, and it's disruptive. It's disruptive to today. Well, what made you feel like, okay, you probably, I bet by not doing it and losing on it, made you feel terrible, made you feel, I don't know. I mean, we're talking to the owners that listen to us.
So-
and we all, I mean, literally, I know because there's some things as owner, you have to make a decision very quickly. It's better as owners to investigate and research and do a really good analytics on the market, but also deploy it very fast.
If you actually,
Or maybe not.
if you actually are doing something you've done many times before, then you use your experience in what did I do last time on that decision. If it is a completely new, out of comfort zone
Yeah.
situation, and you're new to business,
Yeah.
I mean, I've basically been in business for about a year, then I procrastinated. It's very good to do diligence. It's very good to do a plan and think that through, but you can't take too long.
No.
You can't take too long because you miss the opportunity. So it's a tipping point that you will know, if I take
Any more time.
then I'm going to lose this opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. I've made those mistakes myself.
This episode is sponsored by Vish, the smartest color management system for profitable salons. Vish tracks your color usage, reduces waste, and helps you charge accurately for all color services, so you can protect your profit and grow with confidence. You know that we are all about profit and how we live a profitable life of course, by design. You can definitely make it so easily, and I've seen it, the actual results on the P&L. Vish makes it happen. Now join thousands of salons using Vish to scale smarter. Head to getvish.com and see the difference for yourself.
Now, many see your success today as you are, you had so many great successes. If you don't mind sharing with us, but one of the biggest successes that you had, other than owning Eurisko Design, is that you were able to sell. Is it over 50 salons?
320. Close.
A little close. 320 salons. Can you share with us?
Yeah.
How did that deal? I mean, not every day we have an opportunity like that.
So
But you didn't hold your time there.
no.
That's when you took opportunities.
Well,
okay.
The way that I did it, when I used to be general manager of Aveda Sassoon, and when I left, I had an opportunity of acquiring salons. They were not organic; they were acquisition. And I bought a group that had.
What does it mean, organic or through acquisition?
So if I was to buy a property, fit it out with furniture, market the salon, it's organic growth.
Okay.
If I buy an existing salon or group, then I've acquired it, therefore it's an acquisition.
Sure. Got it.
So it was 16 salons, but I didn't have any money at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So they were a L'Oreal house, and I had a relationship because of Sassoon's with Wella.
Yes.
And I went to Wella and said, look, you have an opportunity of acquiring this group. If you lend me the money interest-free, I'll move them over to Wella. And
So
they did.
meaning take them from L'Oreal products,
Color,
color
was
to
big.
Wella.
Correct.
Got it.
Right. And I then had an opportunity of 72 salons that were in department stores. I think they were Schwarzkopf. another brand in Europe, and I did the same thing. I went back to them with an opportunity. To cut a long story short, I did this with 5 different companies. It ended up 320 salons. And then what I did is I acquired a cash and carry company that supplied the salons
With cash.
with products, with color, with tint, with brushes, with sundries.
And
so
they
I
were
didn't
not.
have to buy them from another manufacturer.
Okay, well, so it was a third party, not Wella, that had all of that.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And the last thing that I did was I acquired 4 schools. So I educated people to fill the places of the salons. So what that does from a financial point of view is if you've got 7 companies, you normally have 7 corporate offices.
Yes.
You have 7 capital equipment like photocopy machines. You have 7 secretaries. I amalgamated them into one corporate office. So our bottom line and profit was extremely high.
Because of diversity of income.
Not the diversity of income. There was the same income. It was cutting out the fat, if you like. I don't need 7 corporate offices. I just need 1.
Oh, I see.
So that saved me a lot of money.
Yeah.
Growing the company was difficult because how do you grow different cultures? They're all different cultures.
Okay.
But we grew the company 5%, but we saved the company 23%.
So it became very profitable.
Profitable, right. So then what happened was L'Oreal were getting upset about losing all these salons and made me an offer, and integrity is one of the most important things. I didn't do that, but I went back to Wella to say I wouldn't be where I am today if you hadn't helped me build this empire and enterprise. If you give it to me, sell it to you at the same cost, it's all yours, and I did. I sold the company. That was really what happened. I then had an opportunity of acquiring the distributorship of Aveda in the United Kingdom. And knowing about Aveda was an environmental company. Britain was more environmental at that time. I mean, what really was the biggest thing was the body shop, and they weren't really environmental. They had plastic bottles, but everyone thought they were green and environmental.
Right.
But Aveda truly was environmental.
Yes.
And I know that 2 other companies had gone to them, Horst, the owner,
Yes.
and said, if you give me the company, I'll make a lot of money for you. Well, that's not what he wanted to hear, and they failed. So my partner and I went over to Minneapolis and said, if you give us the distribution, we'll ensure your message is in every bathroom in the United Kingdom.
I love it. I love it.
So-
So you carried his vision.
His vision, because it was his vision.
Yeah.
And a product without a vision is just a product.
Yeah.
And we got the distribution, and I was mindful of what Walt Disney said. Think of what the competition are doing and do completely the opposite. We never put the products into salons straight away. We put it into department stores like Harrods, Harvey Nichols, House of Fraser, Liberty, to learn how to retail. And then we took salon owners and showed them how to retail rather than tell them from a manual.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Through the years, you noticed that no matter what, as a salon owner or spa or med spa, retail is never more than 10, 15% of your total sales. Maybe if you are in a high traffic location in a mall, you can get to 20%. But we're missing so many opportunities with not utilizing the force that we have in selling retail. And there's always a debate about, don't focus so much on your staff. Don't focus so much on trying to get your staff to sell more retail, because look at the history, 10%, that's it, 15%, that's it. What is your point of view on taking advantage of retail sales? Where do we fall short?
Well, here's what I did, and I can tell you how I feel about it. Nobody goes to college, let's be honest about it. Nobody goes to college to say, I want to sell products. They don't. They want
Or
to
sell anything.
Right, they don't. And manufacturers come along and they say, you've got to sell the product. Salon owners come along and say, you've got to sell the product. And for a while you get a blip, but then it drops. It's not sustainable.
No.
So the two things that I did, and of course we are talking about a different period, is I had a verbiage that every service provider had to say at the end of the service. And I'm going to use it on you, right?
Yeah.
I've just done your hair.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you how you feel. Hopefully you feel good.
I feel fabulous. I'm fabulous.
Right. How do you look?
I look wonderful.
Okay.
It looks beautiful.
Once you've solicited that response,
Because you asked me a question.
right, I'm going to ask you a one poignant question.
Okay.
And you can answer this honestly.
Okay. Let's
Would
do
you
it.
like to maintain that look in between visits until I see you next time?
Well, you know what? I would tell you, Leon, I can never look as beautiful as when I leave here. The salon.
But it's very hard to say, no, I don't want to look
True.
in between
I would like
visits.
to, absolutely.
I want, if you say to them, would you like to maintain that look in between visits until I see you next time?
I would say yes.
You would
of
have
course.
to say yes.
Of course.
So these are the products I used on you to achieve that look. Let me tell you how you use them and how often. It's assumptive. So you may use 6 or 7 products. You're not going to probably go home with 6 or 7 products, but you will go home with 1 or 2 products.
Absolutely.
So everything in life is in the positioning, how you position it. So if you position it that way, your chances of selling a product become greater. The second thing is that I did a pilot scheme in one of the salons. And what I did was that the haircut or color was included of a product. They went home with a product.
Okay.
So if the haircut, I'm going back a few years.
I love
ago,
that
was
idea.
50.
What prompted you to think like this?
Again, I'll explain how I thought at that time. But I think laterally. I don't think just logically.
Yes.
And I'll explain what I mean by laterally.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, remember, we got to speak to an audience that understand logically or understand what we've been
I'll define
told for a long time.
I define it simply.
Yeah.
So if I was to do this,
Yes.
logically, what word would you universally say that is?
Well, for those of you who are listening to us and not watching us, we just created an X in my 2 fingers.
Correct.
So think about that. So Leon asked me, what does it look like? And I would say, it looks like an X to me.
And logically, that is correct.
Okay.
Now you're going to think laterally. What else could that possibly be? One word that everyone would agree.
2 fingers crossed.
That's more than one word.
Okay.
So I'll tell you, to
Tell
save
me.
time.
Yeah.
It could be times. The word times.
Time. Yeah.
It
Multiplication.
could be multiplied. There's another word.
Yeah.
It could be a kiss on a letter.
Oh, yes.
It could be 10 in Roman numerals.
Oh, so it's
It
almost
could be wrong. It could be wrong.
wrong. Yeah.
So here we are. What we've done is we've created several options for that same thing. That's lateral thinking. So when you think of an idea and you think, well, that's the way logically you do. If you think lateral, you think, what else could I do with that same thing?
Can I translate that to,
Yes.
Okay, so thinking about it's a profitable life, thinking about it's a profitable show. And so what I see or hear from you is that logically you're thinking way too small. You gotta think bigger. You gotta look bigger. You gotta have that luxury mindset that think about what more can I get from just that one side. Or maybe we can take it even and say, you either can grow it by 2x or you can grow it by 10x. So if we think bigger, it's much easier or it's just as hard to multiply your sales to 10x, the same as 2x.
That's a good analogy. Another one to simplify it is that in a beauty salon, you have an empty room, and you say to the salon owner, what could you do in that room? Well, I could do manicure. That's a good idea. What else could you do? Well, I could do pedicure. I could do more color. So now you're thinking, not just logically, you're thinking, what are the options I have to do in that room?
Okay, which is a great example, and I'm going to take it to the 2x and 10x place, because I want to be more profitable in my life, right? So I'm going to say, okay, so in that room, you can either sell manicure, or you can sell something that gives you much higher margins, or you can look at, what am I selling in 1 hour? It's going to be just as hard to sell in 1 hour haircut or to sell in 1 hour extensions or colors or injections or facials. What brings you the most profit in that 1 hour? That's the 10x.
Well, that is lateral thinking, and the other aspect to that is it sustainable?
This episode is sponsored by Forest Salon Software, the all-in-one solution designed to help salon, spa, med spa owners really deliver with confidence and really design and drive their company to success. Forest isn't just a booking system. It is your machine that will help you grow your company with smart marketing and real-time reporting, staff performance tracking, and world-class support. And I mean world-class support, because I wouldn't even recommend Forest if they didn't have a world-class support. Now, so whether you're scaling to 7 figures or streamline your operation or need to fix things and tighten things up, Forest can help you make smarter decisions and deliver the luxury experience that your clients and your members really need. If you're ready for a software that is all in and grows with you and support you for a truly team-run company, just visit forest.com and discover why thousands of salons trust Forest. And mention Salon Cadence and you'll get a perk.
So the idea, you don't want a trend. You want sustainability. You don't want to keep changing every 6 months, 9 months. What will be sustainable over the next few years that will bring more profit? Do your exercise of lateral thinking and think, okay, I could do this, I could do that, could that. Which is sustainable, which is profitable. So you put them together and then create a strategic blueprint. I keep going back to that because it's the most powerful, important thing.
Well, so I think that a quote by Joy Bell, which I love very much, I hope I'm not going to butcher it, the only way that we can live is if we grow. The only way we can grow is if we change. So we got to think a little bit and change. And as entrepreneurs, we want to change all the time. So Leon comes and say, that's fine, but what will you make it consistent? What are the things that everybody is going to want to come and get from you because you're so consistent, right? Like Chick-fil-A, what are they selling?
That's a good point. The fundamental most important thing of any business, it doesn't matter if you're high-end or you're not high-end, is consistency. Be it in a restaurant, be it in a hotel, be it in a hair salon, consistency is the key. And if you go to McDonald's and you get what you expect to get, it's consistent. So that's a fundamental key, is the consistency.
Now, one of the questions that I love asking, and I'm thinking of you and your experience of up and down, failing, losing, and winning. Behind every thriving beauty empire, there's often a very personal story, a transformational story. And how has building your business reshaped who you really are as a person? And I'm going to go and say that from your daily habits to relationships to how you find meaning and purpose in your work.
I guess we are all products of our history, And I would say, on a personal story, is I had no brothers and sisters, so I didn't know what it was like to share. So my parents, I came from a warm, loving family, but a working class family. And although I loved my parents, I didn't want their lifestyle.
Okay.
So I strove to actually build and be, and never give up. Never give up. So think of it, if things doesn't work, I wouldn't give up. I'd try a different way. I'd study. I'd read. I'd find out what entrepreneurs have done and tested. I'd try to be a visionary and try to look at the future to see what is needed. It's no point coming out with an idea that's not going to be marketable because the consumer's going in a different direction.
Or not needed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that to me was the drive that pushed me forward and kept on building companies that way.
I understand. So would you say that if you could give Leon 40 years ago an advice based on what you know now as an entrepreneur and somebody who starts a company, and we have listened to your creative ideas about how to build an empire from other people's money, integrity, customer, consumer, what would you tell Leon 50 years ago?
Well, there's not much I would do different. I've enjoyed every aspect. There are days, like every human being, you get up and things don't work out. And you think, what do you learn from that? Let's not do it that way. Let's not just repeat the same mistakes. So, you know, if things don't work out, figure a way that makes it work out.
Keep at it.
I mean, look, here's what is important, what I would do now if I was launching salons. We didn't have the luxury of consultants. We had to actually recruit. What I did is I recruited 4 people who were smarter than me in certain aspects of finance. I recruited a CPA that could advise me how to invest. I recruited an educator to make sure that people were developed and I could grow the company. I recruited a legal person who told me the boundaries of where I could go. And finally, equally as important, I recruited a PR person who could market the ideas in the company to the consumer. They were smarter than me in the subjects they had. I believe in delegating as much as reserve for myself the tasks that have the greatest impact on the business. Everything else I delegate. Now today, I would hire a consultant. I would hire a consultant because I cannot do it on my own. I need to have someone to say, this is wrong. You can learn a tremendous amount from a book, and I read all the time books, and that is an aspect. But there's nothing like having someone who's done it before that can tell me, have you considered doing it this way? Why don't you think of it that way?
Yeah.
Someone to bounce off, rather than someone that says, well, you know, this is what you should do, but they've never done it themselves. So that's probably not a good idea. So,
yeah.
You know,
I mean, there's a lot of great consulting coaches in every industry. And I think that even if you're a developer and a researcher and you know you have a lot of advices to do, and which is great, and you can probably help a lot, but if you're going to be working with people that walk in the same walk that you have, there's just so much more meat and potatoes, so much more to give as a value if you went through the same thing, if you created some mistakes for you, only so you can save other people from making the same mistakes, or you know, you got to think about what's worth more to you, time or money.
It enables me to make the right decisions. It gives me another way of looking at it, because quite frankly, no matter how smart you are, you don't have all the answers. You know, you need someone or some people to bounce these ideas off.
All the time.
Yes, if you're serious about growing your company,
Yeah.
if you're serious about your enterprise, and that the fundamental goal of the enterprise is that it should be run and grow, even if you're not there. That is the goal.
Yes, that's the goal. That's the ultimate goal. And how can you live a real profitable life? And so we're coming, Leon, this has been so valuable. We're coming into our 5 rapids question. Are you ready?
I hope so. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Number 1, what's your biggest failure and what did it teach you?
Well, the biggest failure, I don't even, the failure not to act quick, as I said before, is my biggest failure. It taught me to structure and bring it to the market quicker.
Okay.
Holding on too long.
What's your superpower?
The way that I think.
The what?
The way that I think is my superpower. I don't think like everyone else. I've noticed that. It's not necessarily better. I just don't think like everyone. I think laterally. I think logically. I never give up. I believe that you need to be a visionary. You need to be a thought provoker. And I guess that's my biggest one.
If you could put a billboard anywhere, what would it say?
Your potential starts where your comfort zone ends.
Love it.
One other that I thought would, change isn't the enemy, it's the invitation.
Powerful. I love that the most. What's your definition of success?
Profit with purpose.
Oh, that's my DNA.
Profit with purpose. I mean, to me, the definition of success is leaving a legacy, leaving an impact, and having a purpose.
Yes.
It's not about just profit. Profit is essential.
Well, but if you have a profitable company and a profitable life, that means you can help so many and have so many more people being impacted.
Yes.
So I totally agree. I love that, Leon. You know, helping people is our true, I think, purpose. And so money comes no matter what, money mindset. And so what's exciting, what kind of exciting opportunities or project you have right now going on that you want to share?
I'm working on something that will affect and revolutionize the beauty industry, and it involves technology. I've been working on it for a bit, and I am planning to bring it to market. I've spoken about it a few times, but it's to do with technology. It's to do with beauty salons and all businesses as well. Is to have personal music systems for people, as opposed to you go into a salon, you've got mature customers, you've got young customers, and yet there's one track of music playing. So this particular thing will have individual music or no music.
Yeah.
Again, going back, the future is not about experience, about personal experience. Smart mirrors are still something that I'm very keen to bring to the market. They are out, they're in Europe, they're not in the States, so that you are interacting with the station and the smart mirror built in, and your avatar superimposed on it. So technology is what I'm really working on.
That's exciting. I can't wait to be there. Did you ever try on those headsets that you can listen to on private music? Everybody listen to their own music. and that's with their own headsets. Those are so fun.
They are fun. You can't do that in a salon because you're coloring the hair and that.
True.
So this is going to be a tile above the station that's
Okay.
voice activated within a 2-foot radius.
Okay.
So if you stand outside the 2-foot radius,
You don't hear it.
you don't hear it. It's like
Fabulous.
Guggenheim. If you stand somewhere, you see the art. It tells you about the art.
I love that.
So the music is going to be above, and within that 2-foot square, just voice activation.
That's very cool. I think that the future innovation is all going to be through glasses
Yes.
or through headsets.
Yeah, and that it is, but in a salon you can't use either if you're coloring someone's hair. So it has to be not connected to the body.
Mhm.
One other aspect that is out is intelligent brushes.
Yes.
So you brush someone's hair with this intelligent brush, and it sends to your phone
The shape of your scalp or the hair.
the elasticity,
Okay.
protein content, etc. So you can sell appropriate treatments for the consumer.
Fabulous. You see, we're just going ahead and we are absolutely changing the world. Leon, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for sharing your wisdom. And guess what, guys? We got lots more coming. So for all of you who've been listening and you're listening to us, please go to our episode, go to It's a Profitable Life, subscribe to us, and share it with your friends. The more you subscribe, the more you share it with friends, the more we can bring you some really great guests and have a bigger impact. So I hope you guys live in It's a Profitable Life and keep on living the good life. Love you. See you then.